If you want to understand how the world works, you have to look at it through two lenses simultaneously, the lens of power and the lens of resources. When I walked through the gates of Christ University as a student of political science and economics honors, I didn't immediately realize that I was being handed both of those lenses. I thought I was simply there to earn a degree. But looking past those years, the blueprint of everything I do. People often ask how academic theory translates into real world for me. The translation wasn't sudden. It was a steady, rigorous process of connecting the dots between the classroom and the community. Started with the foundational text, political theory, alongside Western and Indian political thought. I didn't just give me historical context, they taught me how to question the very fabric of justice. The statements they provided, the philosophical why behind human governance. But philosophy, which was there, was that a machinery to work. That's where the Indian government and politics and public administration came in. They grounded those high ideals in the gritty reality of the state apparatus. I learned how policies are drafted, how bureaucracies function, and where the bottlenecks lies. And by studying the comparative government, I gained a global perspective. Then came the economics. Microeconomics and macroeconomics provided the analytical rigor. They taught me that every policy, no matter how noble, operates under the constraints of scarcity, human behavior, and market forces. In my first year, I was selected as a Millennium Fellow. Suddenly, the Sustainable Development Goals weren't just abstract targets on my list. They were a design to inculcate the real-world initiative. There is where papers like public economics became my playbook. When you are on the ground trying to enact change, you are constantly thinking about the public goods, taxation, externalities, and social welfare. The fellowship forced me to take the macro-level models of growth and apply them to localized grassroots challenges. It was my first real taste of bridging the gap between a textbook and the community. Evaluating the project purpose of my peers from across the globe was an intensive exercise. In political economy, you cannot access the viability of public health initiative or an environmental campaign in another country without understanding the intricate dance between its political institution and economic realities. My background allowed me to look past the surface these proposals. I could see the underlying. Today, when I look at the complex issue, whether it's shifting dynamics of our urban landscapes, the displacements of manufacturing, or the vulnerabilities of the gig workers in the changing climate, I don't just see these as isolated problems. I see them as systems. The papers I studied at Christ didn't just humble me. They are the analytical frameworks I use every day. Political science taught me who makes the decision. Economics taught me what those decisions cost, and my real-world experiences showed me who ultimately pays the price. Being a Christite armed with this dual perspective means understanding that true impact doesn't happen in a vacuum. It happens exactly where political theory and economic reality collides, and that is exactly where I intend to keep working. Thank you so much.